Okay, so this is the one that I mostly set up to use as my own sort of personal effect. And so what happens, and I had a lot of trouble here, is that when the serial opens up the connection, the Arduino for some reason wants to reset the Arduino, and sometimes when it does that, it doesn't call the setup function, which was what set up what the pin mode was. So what happens is you get this initial flash because those pins are connected to a pull-up resistor, and when they're connected to a pull-up resistor, there's enough voltage to activate the transistor that gates these gates the signal to these LEDs. So every time it resets, I have the main program now put back what the pin mode is, so it doesn't use the pull-up resistor on those lines, which makes it work properly now. Yeah, so this will go on for a little while now. I guess it's into the approximate tints. It's basically, let's see, what is it? It's color morph, snow approximate tints, and hue wheel, and then something called candy. And candy is just a straight up, basic colors, which is kind of stupid because it's actually what you want to do is avoid just the 0-1 kind of colorings, but it's occasionally kind of interesting. So I'm just going to cut this off here and just go over some of the other ones. This is another one I did just to make sure it basically works. It's through the red, the green, and the blue like that. And let's see what else. This one here, you can see there's always flashes like that. You can put in what you want, so 0, 0, let's see, RGB, so like a really light B would be like that, a really intense B would be that, a violet color with more red than blue would be like that, yellowish color, not quite yellow, let's try that one. Okay, it's a little bit orange, I guess, that's what happens when you have half as much of that. And turn off is, it's always on, but the signal never goes high. I made it so when you're at 0 point, there's no setting the signal high. So let's take a look at what else we have here. There's this one's random, which is whoops. That one's random. It's mildly interesting. Let's see, did I make any other ones? This one's just kind of stupid. This is not really great, but it's kind of a little joke here. Does that freak out your neighbors, that one there? But that's not very, very good as a color effect. So, you can sit here and go, I feel like I'm in a St. Patrick's mood, RGB 080, that, maybe a bit higher, about right there. So anyway, I'm happy, and it doesn't run off batteries anymore. So the scenario was actually a lot like the last scenario I had. It's almost exactly the same setup, but the problem is that in this case it was a little bit smaller. All the pieces were a little bit smaller. When I tried to solder to this particular resistor, this resistor somehow came off on my soldering iron, and it's just a tiny little thing, and I never thought I'd get it working, but I got it kind of kind of crudely back on that board. And I decided I'm not going to mess anything with that, so what I did was I scraped off some board trace. It's kind of hard to see here, but there's some board trace here. So basically, this is the IC. This is your microcontroller. This thing right here is your microcontroller. It had 4 pins. These pins were knocked off this thing. The traces are left. There's no connection between the microcontroller and the thing. These were soldered onto. The trace is going to, I believe, this side of these resistors. This side goes here, so all these these are the switch transistors here that control the voltage, and then there's a current limiting resistors on all the parts of the LED strip. So these are the control transistors. They're probably bipolar junction transistors. And this one here, this goes around, let's see, where is it? Yes, this goes around here like this and goes under the chip back into that one. So I got that one there. Then I'm complete messless now. But these are the 3 component lines, and these were 1.5K resistors, and like last time I just used the resistors they used, and these are probably better for my applications. This is the same volt range, so I'm running off 5 volts, So it's probably about what they're doing. It's probably the same kind of specs as they had. This is the ground one here. I had to tie my ground to their ground that originally went there. And it looks like crap. And I sealed this all up with glue gun glue all over it so that hopefully it won't go anywhere. These aren't great connections, but hoping it has one big mass, it's going to kind of be good enough to stay there. So that was the idea. Okay, so the new solution here, as usual, starts at the USB port, goes over this little jar, and I made this lid on it so it wouldn't get, it couldn't get dust in the future. So I can just leave this here forever. And you see that's the Arduino. There's a connector. It's actually like a floppy connector that I like turned into this thing. So, there's actually 4 wires there and 2 sets of speaker wire. Go over here. So it goes over here, and it goes into this little blob here. And that's the original thing that came with my lights, but I just put a blob. I used to have like some shrink wrap around it. So that is off. That's the original USB power cable. It's a USB powered LED strip, and it doesn't have any data signals. It's just interested in the power, right? So it goes in there and it goes in this LED strip. Goes up there.